I love the words of Exodus 33, starting at verse 7 to a portion of verse 11. Now Moses used to take a tent and pitch it outside the camp some distance away, calling it the tent of meeting. And it says that anyone inquiring of the Lord would go to the tent of meeting outside the camp. And whenever Moses went out to the tent, all the people rose and stood at the entrances to their tents, watching Moses until he entered the tent. It says that all of them could have approached. But as Moses would approach, they would stand back and watch. And I think so many people are like that. They watch somebody else's relationship with God, not realizing it was meant for you to have. You go into that tent of intimacy with God, and for us, that's just the place of prayer. It says in verse 9, as Moses went into the tent, the pillar of cloud would come down and stay at the entrance while the Lord spoke with Moses. I have to think that even if we can't see it with our human eyes, that when we're with God and when we are practicing His presence and when we're in prayer and when we're soaking up His Word as He speaks it from the page, I have to believe that in the unseen world, there may be a cloudy pillar of God's glory falling right on us. It may just seem that our house has a table with a load of dirty clothes on it, or the sink may be full of dirty dishes, but it becomes a sanctuary of the very glory of God every single time we reach out to Him. It says, whenever the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the entrance to the tent, they all stood and worshiped, each at the entrance to his tent. Oh, this is my favorite part. The Lord would speak to Moses face to face as a man speaks with his friend. That's part of contemplative prayer. When we sit back and realize that it's not just that we have something to say to God, it's that God has something He wants to say to us. And it doesn't say, we first read it with a very human kind of a mind that says, Moses spoke to God as his friend. That's not what it says. It says God spoke to Moses as his friend, someone that shared common interests with him. I want to be in that tent of meeting. I want to be in that place where the cloudy pillar of God's glory falls. And I want to sit back and listen long enough that perhaps the God of all creation might just speak to me.